So I was talking to this lady yesterday, and she told me that she'd been married for 15 years, right? And then she recently found out that her husband has been cheating on her. And of course, that's sad. That's messed up. That's bad. But I mean, let's not act like we haven't heard that before. Let's not act like we haven't heard of men cheating on their wives. Like, come on, they do this shit all the time. It's not a big deal. Now, not all men cheat, but So as she proceeds to tell me a little bit what's been going on in her personal life, I'm like, bro, I'm glad she trusted me with this information, because you guys know I'm not shit. Of course, I'm going to be first to share it with you. But it's also the fact that she didn't say don't tell nobody, because if she would have said don't tell nobody, I wouldn't have told nobody. But since she didn't say that, I'm telling somebody. And but yeah, don't tell nobody, okay? But anyway, so it's not the fact that her husband was cheating that threw her off. It's just the simple fact of who her husband was cheating with. And we'll get to that in a second, right? Because that's the most juicy part. But anyway, so she's laying in the bed. She had kind of already suspected that her husband was cheating on her, but she didn't have no proof, just because he started acting differently, right? Coming home late, all the symptoms, right? Coming home late, not checking in as much, not having any SCX, just complaining he's always tired and all this other stuff. So she thought something was up, because this is a man who really enjoys SCX, let her tell it. So, but anyway, so he would get these text messages in the middle of the night. Like, so his phone would light up in the middle of the night. And we all know men don't cheat smart. This is why they always get caught. Because, bro, you put that thing on Do Not Disturb in the middle of the night. But whatever. I'm not giving y'all tips to cheat, but y'all should already know that. But anyway, so one time she picked up his phone and act like it was him texting this other person. Now, it was just a number. There was no name. It wasn't saved as a name. It was just a number. So she was acting like, her husband, right? So the questions was, well, not one of the questions, but it has said, hey, I really enjoyed tonight. When can we do it again? Question mark. She said the text message came in at 11:30 p.m. Now, technically, when you are involved with a married man, there's certain hours that you just don't text, unless that phone is on Do Not Disturb, or unless they have your number specifically on Do Not Disturb. But anyway, so make a long story short, this story's not going to be short, but anyway, she was texting back and forth, says like, hey, I had a good night, when are we going to do it again? And then the wife acting like the husband texts back, are you free tomorrow night? And then the other person texts back, oh, tomorrow night? Oh, wow. It must have been so good that you wanted 2 nights in a row. So I'm like, damn, this could be a Tyler Perry movie, bruh. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, 2 nights in a row. So that was the confirmation. Now, we still don't know what that 2 nights in a row means. Like, it was so good you wanted 2 nights in a row. So I guess, obviously, you thinking the PUSSY, right? It was so good you want it again, right? But we really don't know what this other person is referring to, right? So, but anyway, so the texting is still going back and forth. The wife proceeds to say that she wants to meet up, but she doesn't know where their meeting spot is. Now, obviously, the husband would know where the meeting spot is, right? So, I don't know how she was going to finagle herself out of that one, but it was tricky. But between the back and forth, the wife proceeds to say, let's switch up our meeting place this time. And this is when the other person says, oh, okay, so do you want to add role playing too? Should we act like we don't know each other for the first time? Because you're always so comfortable with coming to my house. Boom. So that's how we found out that's how she found out. See, I feel like I'm included, man. I should be a detective. Anyway, that's how she found out, that the whatever they doing is taking place at the other person's house. So they decide to pick a new meeting place. The wife picks the place. So basically, she says she picks one of the nicest hotels, right? So when she gives the direction to the number's like, oh, you spending money this time? Oh, okay. Like, this person is feeling themselves, right? Like, okay, you want to spend some real money on me. Boom. She tells the person to, she gives the person the hotel room number, So the wife is waiting inside the hotel room, waiting for this mysterious person to walk into the hotel room. So she gets there early, She's set up. She got her camera on because she wants to tape this encounter. I guess her goal was to tape the encounter and then send the video, to her husband. But anyway, so she's sitting in the hotel room. The person is staying in contact, texting like, hey, I'm on my way. I'll be there in 15 minutes, And, she does. So as the way she explained it to me is she was like, her body was shaking. Like her body was on fire. Her blood was boiling because she wants to know who's getting ready to walk in this room. It's a number that she doesn't recognize. She already had a feeling that her husband's been cheating on her, but now it's time to finally meet the person. So I said, you had to be pretty bold to just be sitting there texting the whole time. So let's back up. I know what you guys are thinking. How was she able to get into her husband's phone? Well, if you don't know, husband and wives always have each other's passcodes. No, well, not all husbands and wives, but some husband and wives who have nothing to hide always have each other's passcodes. So that's another thing that has me a little bit confused, because if you know you out here cheating, why do you have, or why are you allowing your wife to have your passcode? I mean, maybe he thinks, hey, since she has it, she never goes to my phone anyway. But it's like, why don't y'all cheat smarter? Like, that call log and text messages should be in the hidden folders and stuff like that. I don't know, like, don't they have it where you could, with an iPhone, you could put your Face ID on your text messages and on your apps and stuff? So whatever. But she was able to get into his phone, obviously, right? So, but anyway, so this is the part that we've all been waiting for. Who comes walking into that hotel room, baby? The hotel room cracks open. The room is well lit. I'm setting up the scene for you. The room is well lit. Shorty told me she was sitting on the bed with the legs crossed, and she had two cameras set up. She had one iPhone camera set up on a little tripod sitting on the I guess it's like I don't know, wherever the TV is set up in the hotel. And then she had one phone on a tripod kind of in the corner. I guess she wanted to get all angles of this damn reaction. But anyway, I told her, I said, girl, you should have hired me. I got a whole camera, everything. Whatever you needed, I would have been there with popcorn. But anyway, so when the door opens and the person walks in, she's very confused because it's her husband's best friend, who was also the best man at the wedding, right? So not once in her mind is she thinking my husband is sleeping with a man. That's because she knows her husband is a manly man. So she said that thought didn't even cross her mind. She thought that her husband had caught on to what she was doing. You know what I mean? Had read through the text messages and all of this stuff. And then, he was sending his best friend to say, yeah, he knew you went through his phone. She really thought it was a prank. So she had no clue. So we're going to back up again. So when I said the person was keeping in contact saying, hey, 15 minutes away and stuff like that, I don't know if y'all know this, but this is what she told me. So basically they have a son that's in college, that technical school or whatever. And there's a way where you can mirror, like iPhone to iPhone, and call me dumb because I didn't know you could do this, but you can mirror from iPhone to iPhone and see what a person is doing in real time. It's kind of like screen sharing or something like that. I don't know. She tried to explain it to me how she was able to still see her husband's text messages even though she did not still have her husband's phone. Now, I kind of think that's cap, but I also don't know what her son goes to school for and what he's able to do. But he helped her with some shit, right? And mind you, none of this has happened recently. I believe, like it's not like this happened yesterday. I believe this was a little while ago, but it still happened and it still affected her. But come to find out, I don't know why she never expected her husband to be sleeping with the best friend, but that's who walked through that door. And I'm like, shorty, that's who it was. He wasn't cheating on you with a woman. But at first she was very much in denial. But hey, I don't know. I mean, long story short, from what she told me is she was in denial for a little while. The guy had lied and said, oh, such and such told me to meet him here. So she thought maybe they were going to meet together and like tag team the girl. I told her in the nicest way possible. I basically was like, the nigga gay. They the ones that was messing around. So drop a comment and let me know what you think. She said she still divorced him because they're still cheating, but she accuses him and the best friend of planning on meeting a woman at the hotel to like tag team her and have like a threesome, But I think the husband was sleeping with the best friend. But drop a comment, let me know what y'all think.